Greetings everyone, I am Archijan Bernardo Santoliha, BSMT1 Charlie from Lunang, Halongos, Leyte. So today I'll be answering some questions and I will be objective as I could in deciding in this issue. So first question, should same-sex marriage or union be legalized in the Philippines? So the question of same-sex marriage legality in the Philippines is a subject that will evoke either a strong support or a strong opposition. This problem brings to the forefront serious matters of equality, human rights, and societal norms. In this discussion, we will tackle whether same-sex marriage law should be enacted in the Philippines considering philosophical principles and their consequences. So, let's imagine in a godless world, everything would be a merely personal viewpoint, nothing more. But let me contend that God indeed exists. Without Him, the world would be in a state of imbalance, since there would be no concept of good or bad, just or unjust, moral or immoral. Because in the immoral argument, if God doesn't exist, objective moral values and duties do not exist. However, objective moral values and duties do exist, therefore, God exists. So I argue that there should be a basis for our standpoints or standards. If you don't believe in God, then everything we discuss falls under the heading of a matter of opinion. Thus, I am not for the legalization of marriage of same-sex couples in the Philippines, as our country is a Christian country and its actions is considered immoral. And according to God, marriage is a union only between a man and a woman, primarily for the purpose of procreation. So next question is, gender ideologies are at play in the debate over whether gender is assigned at birth or established at conception and recognized at birth. So which of these assertions is backed by philosophy and science? So let me begin with what Dr. Grossman said about this. So, so she says that gender is established at conception and recognized at birth. So, and I agree to this because scientifically, an individual's genetic sex is determined by the combination of sex chromosomes inherited from their parents. Typically, females have two X chromosomes, XX, and males have one X and Y chromosome, XY. So, this genetic information sets the foundation for the development of primary sexual characteristics, such as reproductive organs. By the time of birth, a newborn's biological sex typically recognized based on external genitalia and other physical characteristics. This classification as male or female is a reflection of the underlying genetic and hormonal influences that occurred during prenatal development. In essence, the scientific evidence supports the notion that gender is established at the moment of conception, as it is determined by the combination of genetic and hormonal factors inherited from the parents. So this biological foundation becomes evident and recognizable at the time of birth. So in philosophical standpoint, conception for me is something more related to the fact that gender is really a notion which established mostly from the very beginning of a person's life and acknowledged at birth. and and essentialism and natural law philosophy compromise to this. Essentialism says, according to this theory, there are some qualities which are natural and indelible for people that give identity. Accordingly, gender is defined already at the conception in biological nature by, for example, chromosomes and hormones included. So in natural law, the idea of natural law is one of these philosophical concepts in which the existence of the immutable universe, truths ruling over life of humans and their biological sex, may be referred to. And in this case, gender is seen as an immutable nature where we ascribe gender based on our sexualities. So overall, I do believe that gender is established at conception and recognized at birth and not assigned at birth.